everybody, welcome to the Comic Game Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I'm here to talk about the rumor, the massive rumor, that after Marvel may be stealthily, and I mean really stealthily, setting up a World War Hulk movie in She-Hulk. And it's supposed to come out in like 2023 or some shit like that. Now, just to let people have a little bit of information that they may not know. If you've ever wondered, if you ever have, why there's only ever been one Hulk movie in the MCU, might be the same reason you wonder why that Hulk movie isn't on Disney Plus, is because technically, while Marvel Studios / Disney owns the rights to the Hulk, they own the rights to the Hulk, Universal owns the distribution rights to the Hulk, which means Marvel cannot make a solo Hulk film without getting the okay from Universal, and of course that would come with giving Universal a huge slice of the money they make off that film, even though it'd be a film that they made themselves. And obviously Disney and Marvel don't want to do that, which is why The Incredible Hulk was technically made by Universal. Now it says Marvel Studios. It was like kind of a joint thing, Marvel Studios and Universal. But that's why The Incredible Hulk isn't on Disney Plus, because technically Disney / Marvel Studios don't completely own it. It's the same reason why the Spider-Man movies aren't on Disney Plus as well. Now, with that being said, there have been rumors for quite a while. Months. I can even remember sometime in about late 2019, there was a rumor that Marvel had got the rights back, but that was kind of debunked by Mark Ruffalo, even outright saying that they didn't have the rights back. That Universal doesn't want to play ball, which does mean that they have been talking to Universal. So I'm not going to be as dismissive of this as I have other things. You know me, I'm pretty dismissive of a lot of these rumors. I just want to be that. I just don't want people to get too caught up in rumorville. You know what I mean? I know how bad that can get. And people start getting caught up in rumorville. They get their expectations up for things that weren't promised, and you get crazy. Next thing you know, people are angry about shit that is like, it's no one's fault that you got lied, that you got deceived. But I digress. I will say this. Is there a chance that this is true? There's a chance. There's a slight chance. I'll give it that. Because clearly there's something wrong with Bruce Banner. The last time we saw Bruce Banner was, sorry for spoiling this for you, but Shang-Chi's been out for like a month and some change now. Is in Shang-Chi, and he was back to Bruce, but he wasn't even the Hulk anymore. He wasn't Smart Hulk anymore. He was just Bruce Banner. So clearly there's something going on with him. Who knows what we'll find out, but there's something going on with Bruce. We don't know. Maybe we'll find out in I'm sure they'll get more into it in She-Hulk, but I digress. There's clearly something more going on with him. But so, and She-Hulk, who knows what She-Hulk could be setting up? Who knows what She-Hulk could be involved in? Clearly it's going to focus on Jennifer Walters mostly, and who knows how much time Bruce Banner is going to be in She-Hulk. I got a gut feeling he's not going to be in too long. I got a gut feeling they're going to do something where when he gives her the blood transfusion, like the blood that to help her live, and she turns into She-Hulk, that somehow that's going to really fuck him up, and he's going to be like unconscious for like half the show and wake up in like episode, and like I think She-Hulk's supposed to be, I think She-Hulk's going to be kind of like WandaVision. I believe it's going to be a 30-minute nine-parter. So he's going to wake up in like episode 8. And he's gonna be in like episode 1, and then he's gonna be out, and then he's gonna wake up in episode 8 or something. Like, that's my prediction. But who knows how much time he's gonna actually be in there. But, and this is a big but, the big but in the room is, none of these rumors have been corroborated by any of the big hitters. I'm talking Deadline, I'm talking Variety, you know what I mean? I'm talking Hollywood Reporter. If you don't hear it from Deadline, Hollywood Reporter, or Variety, it might be true. It might be. It's like But Deadline, Hollywood Reporter, and Variety, they don't run with shit that they don't know for sure. They got sources in Hollywood. Not like a source to a source. Like, all those other scoopers, really, like individual scoopers who are doing their own thing for these smaller little things, they knows people who know people. Deadline and Hollywood Reporter know the people. You know what I mean? Like, Deadline, Hollywood Reporter, Variety, those guys know the actual people. But, you know, so they know shit. They don't put this, like, because these lore little, the lore, you know, scoopers and whatnot, they could just put shit out there. And if it's not true, then it's just not true. Or they'll just come out and do the thing usually scoopers do, which is, whenever a scooper's wrong, they're never like, I'm wrong. They just go, oh, I was right at a certain point, but they changed it. You know, scoopers, that's what they do. But this just seems this just doesn't seem right to me. First of all, there's no report. There has been no indication that they've worked out a deal with Universal. None whatsoever. She-Hulk seems to me, at least, you know, who knows? But it does seem to me like it would be a disservice to She-Hulk to use it as a platform for the Hulk when it's supposed to be about her. It should focus on her. It should be about her. And Kevin Feige's already shown that he is willing to cut things to keep the focus on the character, in the individual characters in the show. He cut Doctor Strange completely out of the script of WandaVision because it was taking focus away from Vision. There's no way someone who does something like that would want to take focus away from She-Hulk to set up a World War Hulk movie. Not to mention, there's so much other shit going on in the MCU cosmically. You got Moon Knight coming, you got Blade coming, there's so much other shit going on. I'm not sure where the space would be to do that. Not to mention, that'd be a hell of a thing to make a turnaround like that on something that you haven't even announced yet. Now, granted, there are some unannounced Marvel movies, but we all kind of have a good idea. I think there's like one unannounced one. Like one that's coming out fairly soon that's been unannounced. But we've all kind of assumed, and maybe wrongly, that it was probably Deadpool. Since Deadpool is currently in the works, has been talked about for quite a while and whatnot. A lot of us have assumed that one of those 2023 movies, that the one that's not been announced, is probably Deadpool. It's probably a sequel to something, you know. But, you know, it could be wrong. And maybe it's the World War Hulk movie. But I doubt it. So, and in general, I doubt this report. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't make sense. I don't think Kevin Feige's the type of guy who just spin that to... Because World War Hulk would need a lot of setup. And the comic World War Hulk was just this massive comic, and it was so much going on, and it was so much focus on Hulk. Now, granted, the MCU doesn't adapt things one shot for shot, so granted, maybe that's an argument in your favor if you believe this, that they could easily adapt this to pare it down and make a movie out of it, but it just doesn't feel like it's going that way. Now, granted, hey, maybe, when's She-Hulk gonna come out? Like, maybe 7 months from now. Probably 7 months, maybe 7 months. It's Hawkeye, then Ms. Marvel, and then I guess She-Hulk. Well, maybe, I don't know. Either way, 5 or 6 months from now, I'll be watching She-Hulk, and like it'll be like, oh my God, they're doing this. But as of right now, there is no indications towards that. There's nothing I've seen that indicates that. There's nothing that indicates they've worked out a deal with Universal, because if Universal hasn't wanted to play ball with them this long, and clearly they've been trying to work it out. Like, Mark Ruffalo wouldn't have said that. Like, he wouldn't even have brought up Universal if they hadn't been talking to them. And Mark Ruffalo has already said that he has been talking to Kevin Feige about doing a solo thing. Not to mention, they could easily just make a show. Just make a 6-parter show. It's pretty fucking easy. Like in my book, it's pretty freaking easy. Just make a 6-parter show about the Hulk. They don't even have to make an actual movie and deal with Universal. They can just make a fucking show because they own the rights to TV shows. Actually, they own the rights to all Marvel TV shows, including Spider-Man. Why do you think which is why Spectacular Spider-Man got canceled, because they were like, not ours. We want to put our own Spider-Man out there. Which is why I was so confused with the whole Sony talking about, we gotta do all these animated things. I'm like, you gotta get permission from Marvel to do that shit. Anyways, that's my opinion on the whole World War Hulk thing. I don't really believe it. I'm not saying that it's not true, but as of right now, there is not enough evidence to believe it. Anyways, thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Move Show. Please like, subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.